Good morning, baseball. It is your boy NMR Sports here, coming back at you with another video. We're talking all about things that went down in baseball last night. There were some crazy games, a lot of close games, a lot of nail biters, not a lot of offense, a lot of good pitching performances. Let's get talking about it. But first, before we watch the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Y'all have been crazy lately. The support's been amazing. Appreciate you guys so much. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We just hit 500. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Let me know how your team did last night. My Angels didn't even play, so yeah. We didn't lose. I think that's always a positive when your team doesn't play. It means you didn't lose. Anyways, let's get right in the video, start talking about some of these games. I think we're going to start off with the Dodgers today. Now, the Los Angeles Dodgers played the Milwaukee Brewers, and one thing about the Brewers is their pitching staff, man. It is absolutely filthy. The rotation's pretty decent, but their bullpen is lights out. And they kind of proved it yesterday against one of the better offenses in all of baseball. They did allow 9 hits to the Dodgers, but they left all 9 of those men on base, so they were really good in high pressure situation, high leverage situations that Brewers bullpen was. Their starting pitcher, Eric Lauer, allowed 4 hits in 5 innings pitched, allowing 2 walks and 3 strikeouts, so not a dominant pitching performance, but he got the job done. Handed it over to the bullpen where Brad Boxberger, Ryan Feiereisen, I've honestly never heard of this man before, apparently has 7 holds on the year. Devin Williams, one of the better relievers in all of baseball, and then Josh Hader coming in with his 6th save of the year. And they made the Dodgers honestly look like a really bad offensive team last night. So the Brewers pitching staff is nothing to mess with. One of the best in baseball, if not the best bullpen in baseball. Very scary team. Not a team you want to be facing, especially late in the game. So Trevor Bauer went 8 innings pitched, only allowing 4 hits and 2 earned runs while striking out 8 batters. So it wasn't a bad performance by Bauer by any means. It looks like he just made that one mistake to Travis Shaw, who hits a 2-run homer on him and wins the game 2-1. So tough outing for Bauer. It sucks to suck. I mean, he is 3-1 on the year, so that's pretty much the only game he hasn't gotten any run support in, but that Brewers bullpen is nothing to mess with, so I don't blame him. They did put up one against Josh Hader, so they almost came back in the 9th, but unfortunately couldn't get the comeback against that Brewers bullpen. Now, the other day we talked about Ronald Acuna Jr. hitting a 481-foot home run. Well, Marcell Ozuna in the same lineup said, "Hold my beer," and went off for his own 479-foot home run yesterday. Not quite as far as that Acuna blast, but 479 is nothing to scoff at. That man has some crazy pop. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't enough to carry the Braves to victory. The Cubs would go off for 9 runs on 16 hits against them. Jake Marisnick hit a solo home run in that one as well. But that Cubs offense looked very, very good yesterday against that Braves pitching staff. So both the Braves and the Cubs, after their series, stay under 500. The Braves at 12-13, and the Cubs are really struggling at 11-14. So it's tough to be a Cubs fan right now, but hey, they do get the victory and 16 hits in a 9-inning game, dude. That's crazy. So they were going off last night against that Braves pitching staff after getting shut out the night before. Now, we did have a double header going on in the AL Central yesterday between the Tigers and the White Sox. Carlos Rodon was on the mound in one of those games, and I don't know what happened this year, if he flipped a switch, if he's I don't know, man. Maybe he's drinking some G Fuel. I really don't know, but Carlos Rodon's one of the best pitchers in all of baseball right now. He's coming off his damn near perfect game in his last start, and he struck out 12 batters yesterday. I know it's against the Tigers, and his last start was against the Indians. Maybe just facing bad opponents, but Carlos Rodon, man, he definitely looks like the real deal right now. Definitely a big fantasy baseball pickup if you guys have him available in your league. He looks absolutely dominant this year. I really don't know what the difference is. He's been a terrible pitcher the last few years, but all of a sudden this year, he might be the best pitcher in that rotation for the Chicago White Sox. Now, in the second game of the doubleheader, the White Sox did put up 11 runs on home runs from Yermin Mercedes and Yoan Moncada, so the young guys out there raking. Yermin Mercedes has just been ridiculous this year. Definitely my pick for the Rookie of the Year so far, and definitely probably, I'd say in the top 5, maybe top 10 of the American League MVP race right now. So Hector Rondon on the year right now has a .72 ERA and pitched 6 innings yesterday in the 7-inning doubleheader, 12 strikeouts, only allowing 2 hits and 1 earned run. And Dylan Cease had a pretty good start of his own in the second game of the set, allowing 0 runs on 3 hits, 7 innings pitched the entire game. It had 9 strikeouts, 0 walks. So very good outing from Dylan Cease as well. But like I said, It's the Tigers. We're not going to give them that much credit, but very good dominant pitching performance, and the Tigers offense hasn't been that bad this year. Now let's talk about some more dominant pitching performances. The Astros were facing off against the Seattle Mariners yesterday, and YUSEI KIKUCHI was on the mound for the Seattle Mariners, and this man is honestly looking like a stud. He's looking like the stud pitcher that they signed out of Japan, who thinking he was going to be one of the better players in all of baseball. And I don't know what happened this year, but he seems to have found it. Maybe he's just had a weird 2020, and that was kind of weird, but 2021, YUSEI KIKUCHI looks like one of the better starting pitchers in all of baseball. Let's take a look at his stats. Yesterday, he had a 7-inning pitched, 1 hit allowed, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts on the day against the Astros, which is a very good offensive team, and they have their full healthy lineup yesterday. Only allowing 1 hit, that's insane. They only got 2 hits in the entire game, so the Mariners bullpen was shut down as well. Kendall Graveman coming in for the save in the 9th inning. Now the Astros pitching was pretty good as well, but they did unfortunately allow that 1 run, and that was enough for the Mariners to beat them yesterday. Taylor Trammell hit a solo home run, and that was the only run of offense in the entire game, so an absolutely dominant pitchers duel between them over there in Seattle. But Taylor Trammell's solo home run is enough to carry them to victory. All right, we had the Phillies squaring off against the St. Louis Cardinals yesterday, and that was an absolutely crazy game. It ended on a walk-off wild pitch. There was a home run from Matt Carpenter that it didn't even go over the fence. It went off of Roman Quinn's glove, so that was a crazy thing that happened in this one. We had Kwon Young Kim starting for the St. Louis Cardinals versus Aaron Nola, who is the ace of that Philadelphia Phillies pitching staff. The Cardinals bullpen is honestly what I'm most impressed in this one. Jordan Hicks came in, had a scoreless inning. He's had a rough start to the year, but he has looked very good yesterday against the Phillies, who's a pretty damn good offense, if I do say so. Alex Reyes came in and had 2 scoreless innings of relief, and Alex Reyes is a former top prospect. Those of us who play MLB The Show probably know because of his Future Stars card, but Alex Reyes, man, he has 12 1/3 innings pitched this year, 0 earned runs. He has been dominant, an absolute force in that bullpen there in St. Louis. So Alex Reyes, man, maybe he's not a bust after all, after looking at this great start to the season. Who knows if it's a flash in the pan or if he's going to be this dominant the entire year. If he is, man, I don't know. I doubt he's going to make it into the closer role, but he could be the best, one of the best long relievers in all of baseball. Maybe even make an all-star appearance. Now, if you want to hear one of the more annoying things in all of baseball, Giovanni Gallegos, the closer for the Cardinals, he gets charged with the blown save. You want to hear his stat line? I'm reading this straight from it. 1 2/3 innings pitched, so he got 5 outs, allowed 1 hit, 0 walks, 3 strikeouts, and he got a blown save because the pitcher in front of him probably loaded the bases, man. Tough outing for Giovanni Gallegos. All he did was allow 1 hit, and he gets charged with a blown save. Definitely not his fault. It's the reliever in front of him's fault, but he does get those 5 outs and at least gets it to extra innings where they would eventually win on that wild pitch I was talking about. So a crazy ending to this one and a crazy game all around. The Cardinals do get back in the W column and stay above 500 at 13-12. So not quite as good as the Brewers we talked about earlier, but they are starting to catch up. I do think they are the best team in the NL Central still, despite the Brewers pitching staff being one of the better, probably the best in baseball. Now, there was one more game that finished on a walk-off, and that was the Orioles versus the New York Yankees. Now, the New York Yankees have been heating up a little bit, but unfortunately, they couldn't get over the hump today against the Orioles. Trey Mancini hit a game-tying home run for the Orioles, and they would end up winning it on a walk-off base hit in the 10th inning. So the Orioles do beat the Yankees, and after the series, they are tied in record, both 11-14 at the moment. Not a great start for either of these teams, but honestly, this is about what we expected for the Orioles. I'd honestly say they're kind of playing above expectations, while the Yankees are playing far below expectations at this point of the year. But they are starting to heat up a little bit, so I wouldn't be too worried about the Yankees anymore. Now, that is going to do it for us here today on Good Morning Baseball. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the support. Once again, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like on it. It really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And comment something about your team, whether they've been good this year, bad this year, if they didn't play yesterday. Count that as a victory for you guys. If they didn't play yesterday, count that as a victory for you guys. Appreciate all the support. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Y'all have a great rest of your day.